And we're rolling. Okay, y'all, it's Reset Sunday, and we have things to reset because here it is at the top of the week yet again. And this is the perfect time to do a goal check-in. So my first question is, who reached their goals? I know everyone has been setting their goals on a weekly basis at this point. But who has reached their goals? Did you reach your goals? You could throw it in the chat. You can send it to me privately, or you can even come off of mute and say, yeah, I did obtain my goals. So first question is, did you obtain your goal that you had set for the past 7 days? I'm only talking about for the past 7 days. Did we all reach our goals? And again, y'all can come off mute. You do not have to be on mute at all.
I
Okay.
did.
Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. If you want to share what was one of your goals that you set for yourself, if you care to share, no pressure. Um, hey Shawnee, hey Tangi, hey T. Okay.
I was. Do I have to share? I really.
Mm-mm. Don't share.
Okay.
No, don't, no pressure. So, and I'll just use myself as an example. If anybody else has a goal that they want to share that they did obtain this week, that is perfectly fine. But what I want you to do is get in the habit of utilizing Reset Sunday or sometime throughout the week to reset your week and set a goal. The small goals make sure that you stay on track to obtain the larger goals. So that's the whole point of us coming together on Sundays anyway. Set a goal. So with your pen and your pad, go ahead and write down what your next 7 day goal needs to look like. So for instance, I've been getting some, do I have anything in the chat? Okay. So, oh, I'm getting some text messages. Okay. So one of the things that I know that I've talked to some of you all throughout the week about is getting more rest. We talked about really just taking the calendar because we have Meatless Monday, there is Gallon Tuesday, no meats and no sweets on Wednesday. Thursday is lean proteins and greens, and Friday is New Fruit Friday. Saturday is low sodium Saturday, and Sunday, of course, we reset. So um, some of you are like, listen, my issue is with sodium, kind of like how we talked about yesterday. And on the days that you have the most issues with, those are the days that I want you to gravitate towards. Okay. So this week, if you know that you ate way more, I don't know, sweets than what you normally do, for whatever reason, maybe it was a birthday, maybe it was an anniversary, maybe it was a baby shower, I don't know. But if you found yourself in that lane, um, you need to gravitate towards no meats and no sweets. 1 second, everybody. Are you kidding me? Perfect timing. Okay. So that is what I want you to do. 1 second while I get my meeting back up and going and flowing. Okay. No, but y'all can still see me. Okay, as long as y'all can still see me, that's great. So anyway, that is what I want you to kind of start shaping your mindset around whenever it comes to your eating. I'm not worried about the goals of working out 100 all the time, all the time, all the time. I think that's great, but I think ultimately where all of our issues lie is in the food that we consume. You can work out again, and I say this every week, you can work out until the cows come home. You literally can. But if you're not eating to match that, it's going to be a long trial with trying to stay on track with your goals and obtaining those goals. So go ahead and set what goal you need to have set for this week. And I want you to think about, even open up your MyFitnessPal right now. Open up your MyFitnessPal and look back at what you did. One thing that I did with somebody yesterday in BU is we took our MyFitnessPal, and I want to show you guys this. And I think I did it last week, but it's going to take me into this week. When you turn your diary to the side, it expands your entire screen. Okay. It expands the entire screen. You don't see anything because I haven't logged anything today. But there is a spot on the bottom where it says your remaining. There's a spot where it says what your goals should be, the total amount of goals that for each field, your fats, your carbs, your protein, your sugar, your sodium, so on. And then there's a field right below it that says remaining, your remaining balance, how much you have left. What I want you guys to do is get into the habit of making sure you zero out or get as close to zero in your remaining. So again, when you log onto your MyFitnessPal, You begin to add stuff into your diary. Last week, we talked about how to add the meals in and your specialty meals and just getting better with tracking, finding a better relationship there. But now I need you to start marrying the two. How do you utilize all these resources? You guys have body fat scales, you're using your measurement tools, your measuring tape, you're using a regular scale, you got MyFitnessPal, you got your fitness tracker on your watch, you got the fitness tracker on your phone. How do you marry all of these things together? How do you blend them together? And this is where you start. When you turn this thing to the side, I'm going to show you how everything makes sense. When you turn it to the side and you get your goals for the day, what you originally did, you put your stuff into MyFitnessPal saying, hey, I'm X amount of weight. This is my age. I want to be down here. The goal is to lose anywhere from zero point 0.5 to 2 pounds in a week, what have you. This is how much this is how often I work out. Then you said, okay, well, I'm going to connect my little my Samsung watch, or I'm going to connect my health app on my iPhone. I'm going to connect it to that so that it can calculate what my balance is in regards to my working out. Okay. Then it kicks out all these numbers to you. It kicks out numbers of your fat, your carbs, your calories, your protein, your fiber, your what it calculates all of that for you based off everything that you put in there, right? And so, what you then do, because these are the tools that we're using, what you then do is you start to track. You begin to track. So, everything's connected, everything's already set up. It's doing the math for you, it's doing the science for you. Do not try to outthink the science that's already been done for you. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to think for it. You are using this for a reason. So don't try to outthink it. It just doesn't make sense. And you're going to make it harder for yourself with understanding it. Trust the science. If you're someone who's having issues with trusting the science, then that is something that you're going to have to kind of take a chance on yourself on, because you need to think about, well, where has my thought process gotten me thus far? If I've always been trying to overthink what I've read in books, overthink what my girlfriend said, overthink, this, that, the third, or overthink what my trainer or my nutritionist has said, because some of y'all have tried to outthink it. Yes. But if you haven't leaned into the science, my question, well, not even my question, my goal for you this week is to truly trust the science. Do the work, trust the science, and see where that leaves you at the end of your 7 days. So that would be a goal from me to you. But going back to that remaining balance, the reason why I want you to get as close to zero as possible is because that means you are meeting all of the goals that's recommended for you in order for you to obtain those goals that you set in it. So if it was, hey, I want to get down zero point 0.5 pounds this week, great. Well, make sure you have, I don't know, make sure you're eating 1,800 calories per day. That sounds like a lot. I don't know about that. How I'm gonna lose weight and I'm eating 1,800 calories. That don't make sense. Or it's saying, hey, make sure you eat 1,500 calories per day. Well, I don't see how overeat. I'm gonna be overeating. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're gonna be eating sufficient enough for what it is that you're doing because you're also working out. Randy, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling, but I am just saying that is what you have to do. Lean into it, trust it. I won't beat the dead horse, but I do want you guys to trust the science, okay? So zero out the remaining balance. I was also telling someone just yesterday, the closer, even if you get, because the thing about MyFitnessPal is it may not have that extra little grain of, I don't know, salt that you put in there, whatever. I always say give or take. I don't know if y'all noticed that in some of our private check-ins, but I always say, hey, this is what it's kicking out. It said that you had negative 13 calories remaining, give or take. Because I understand there's so many things that goes into that. And sometimes, I mean, it is still technology here. Does it have it, a great deal amount of correctness about it? Yeah, it is correct. However, you have to take in some of the error as well. And it's almost like one of those things where it's 99 point, I wouldn't even get it 99. I'm gonna say it's 99.1% correct, in my opinion. Okay. So there is that little wiggle room that it does have. It may not calculate every little thing, or say you went to Panera and you got something from Panera bread and you only ate a fourth of it, but you end up logging a half of it. That's going to adjust your numbers. That will definitely adjust your numbers. And you might say, well, darn, I thought I did good today, but it says that I'm negative 34 calories. I don't understand. No sweat. Do not become obsessive. It is a okay. What I am mainly looking at is what you're doing with your fat. And I'm looking at how much it's repeating in your diary. That is what I'm looking for. I'm looking at those items that you're eating that could potentially be holding you back. So if you do have Cheetos in there, and I'm gonna say, listen, now you had a half a bag. I appreciate your effort, but you probably want to remove that. You having a half a bag of Cheetos every other day, that ain't gonna work. Now let's start scaling it back. Yeah. So that we can start giving our body that rest that it needs so it can catch up and say, okay, hey, here I am. I'm shedding the fat that you want me to shed. Okay. So you might want to scale it back to the actual serving size, which might be 8 chili cheese Fritos or 8 Cheetos. I don't know. But even still, I'm going to still say, well, you're eating up more of your calories when you could have a more plentiful, balanced meal by just getting the bull crap out the way and really focusing on something that is going to bring value to your meals. And I don't know if you guys recall the whole theory that I gave you guys about the car going to the gas station. If you got a Bentley truck or if you have a nice vehicle or whatever, if you have a designer car or whatever luxury vehicle, and you can't put 87 gas in this luxury vehicle and expect for it to yield the results you're looking for. It does not work. You got to put that what? Somebody throw it in the chat. What type of gas do you have to put in that luxury vehicle? 93 premium, period. That's what belongs in there. That's it. So stop trying to put 87 gas in your luxury vehicle. Don't do that to yourself. Okay. I won't read this aloud. Well, I am going to read it aloud, but I'm not going to say who. If my goal is 1460 calories and I work out, it adds 403 calories. Am I supposed to eat the 1460 or the now 1800 calories? Yes, that does make sense. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Again, you have your fitness connected with your nutrition, right? Because one does not go without the other. You can, but you're not going to really get far. So it's best to marry the two. What my fitness pal does is says, hey, I noticed that she wasn't hanging out on the couch all day. She actually burned it. And she said that she's trying to lose X amount of pounds per week. Okay, well, let me carry the one for her. Yes, she needs X amount of more calories. You might have burned 400 calories in your workout. Or, by the time you walked around, say you were at the office that day, walked to and from the mailbox a little bit, you cleaned up the house, then you did a workout, you've burned all these calories. So, what it's telling my fitness pal is, hey, she needs to replace that. So then when you go to replace it, this is whenever you have full control. When you see that 403 calories added on top of that, you absolutely do have to eat. You absolutely do. You have to replace that with the proper calories so your body can say, oh, I'm not operating in a deficit. Okay, I'm not going to be, starving looking for something. It's looking for you to place those items into your body to further assist you with the burn. That's how you truly make it work. And that's just the science. I ain't make it up. I don't take credit for that. But to answer your question, yes, if you were originally at 1460 at the beginning of the day, and you notice as the day goes on and you're eating and you've done workouts and it's beginning to grow, then you do need to eat that. So again, it goes back to the first concept of trusting the science. Do that. Okay. Oh, thank you. Was not doing that. Yes. And I promise you, what I want you to do today, I'm talking specifically to you or anybody who has that exact same question. If you're not doing that, you're like, dang, every day goes by, you have 200 calories left, 300 calories left, whatever. And you're like, okay, well, I ate 3 meals, so I should be good, but you still got 600 calories left in the day. I guarantee you, you will not reach that goal number that you're looking for or that desired feel that you're going for whenever it comes to your body. I guarantee you, you won't reach it. Okay. And that's not to be discouraging you or anything like that, but that's just to be real. Like, that's the science of our bodies. Okay. But definitely do that. That is my challenge to you, the person who sent that. That is my challenge. I want you to do that. I want you to zero out, and I want you to send me a screenshot of you zeroing out your day or getting as close as possible to zero. Because 403 calories at the end of the day remaining, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Okay. Um, but enough of all of that. I did the goal check in. I want you to go ahead and write down your goal. If you have not done that, take a quick little moment to say, what did I not do? What am I trying to obtain? We literally have, let me go ahead and carry the one for y'all on this calendar. Today is the 17th. Next week is the 24th. Then the 31st is what, that next week. So we really only have 2 weeks and some chunk change left in this month. I want you to think back to that January goal, that goal that you sent me. And I can remind some of y'all because you sent it over to me. Where are you at right now? Let's scale. Where exactly are you in regards to obtaining that goal right now? Are you on track? Do you feel on track? Are we still missing a couple of pieces? Are you like, well, Reagan, I'm making every workout, I'm eating better, but I don't think I'm on track. I need to talk to you. We need to set up our nutrition check-in this week, okay? Because 2 weeks is a good amount of time to still make some changes, okay? If you're on track, I want you to think back to where you were at the beginning, and whatever tool I told you to measure, whether that would be your body fat scale, taking measurements, is either one of the two. Go back. Let's do a little quick check. Some of you have up until this Tuesday. I believe the last person have up until this Tuesday. That should be another check-in for you. But if I haven't given you a check-in time, you need to get with me to say, hey, Reagan, what is my check-in time? So I can be on point. And we can go ahead and devise a plan for you over these next 2 weeks to really, make sure that you end out the month the way that you want to, and also set you up for that next month. Okay. Because I don't want you to get to February and be like, yes, y'all, I'm starting over. No, you're not starting over. You're moving forward. Okay. Um, Someone said I wasn't zeroing out and didn't realize I wasn't reaching the goal. I would have 400 left over. Yes. Zero it out as much as possible. Get as close to zero as possible. That is the goal. Um, Another one said, my goal is to track my meals every day this week. Listen, you can do it. Definitely do it. There are different ways to track. We talked about tracking habits. You might not be the person to do it at every meal. For some people, it's just not realistic. For some people, that works. You might be someone who needs to set a timer and then say, okay, at 12 o'clock, I'm gonna log what I have for breakfast. I'm gonna log my pre-workout meal, my post-workout meal, my morning snack or what have you, and I'm gonna go ahead and log my lunch. I have some people who go ahead and log their entire day the night before because they already have their meals planned out. So they're like, okay, well, I know I'm having this. So they already log it. So you just make sure you set that goal for yourself and say what's going to be realistic for me in regards to logging. And if you need some help with discovering better ways or better habits that's going to work for your lifestyle, let's definitely talk about that in our check-in. But I believe in you. Definitely track this week and it will make it so much easier. Use the tools that you have. Another one goal for this week is to eat more. Yes, eat more. If you're not eating enough, again, ladies, I don't even know what else to tell you. Eat, y'all. Okay. Make sure you eat. So goal check-in. We'll do that again next Sunday. Okay. Protein goals. What I'm seeing a lot, and if you have the body fat scale, what I want you to do today is I want you to hop onto your body fat scale and let me show you what that looks like. If you do have the body fat scale, 1 second, ladies, let me pull this up. If you do have the body fat scale, what it does is it breaks down every last number that one number represents. For instance, if you hop on the scale and your weight is 172 pounds, okay? That 172 pounds, and y'all have heard me say this, means so much more. It has it's 1,010 numbers, not 1,010 numbers, but it is a lot of numbers that make up that one number. And what sucks is that we marry that one number when we step on the scale, right? Right. So T, I see what you put in the comments, whatever, girl. But When you do step on that scale, it gives you one number if you just have a regular scale. Nothing wrong with that. But what you need to get in the mindset of, and I'm bringing this up because I'm seeing this a lot in your habits, and this is also a part of your health journey. Don't marry that one number. The body fat scale, and I believe the last person that purchased it was about 16 bucks. Go ahead and get that scale, especially if it's 16 bucks. And this is why it breaks down every number. It breaks down your water weight. It breaks down your BMI, your body fat, your body water weight, your bone mass, muscle mass, skeletal, whatever, lean body. It breaks down literally every number in your body that you should be thinking about when you do see that one number. Okay. One thing that I want you guys to, so this is what it is. Let me cover that part up right there. This is what it looks like. Okay. You have your number right where my middle finger is. That is the number at the top. And then you have all these different numbers right there below it. Right. So when you click on, what I want you guys to do is click on where it says protein, okay? And you'll see, and I don't mind, mine is actually low. It gives you a scale. It gives you a scale. Well, I haven't updated this week, but, and I'm gonna hop on mine too, because I'm asking you guys to do the same thing. But it says, it gives you a scale of low, normal, and enough, okay? Most of us, especially us women who work out 24/7, 365, we're working out a lot or a lot more than what we normally would. We're on that low end of the scale. And that's why sometimes it's so hard for us to obtain our goals, because we're simply not getting enough of the macronutrients that we need. 9 times out of 10, we're getting more than enough carbs, right or wrong, right? We're getting more than enough fat, right or wrong, right? It's that protein. We're not getting enough of the protein. So you'll see that low scale is at 16%. Between 16 and 20% is normal. Anything over 20% is enough. I want all of us, myself included, I want us to be in the normal range. We gotta get our protein up. Say it with me. You gotta get your protein up. Yes, 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 and yes. Someone said, how is he able to detect those things? So, great question. When you step on the scale, what it does, and they call it it's a BIA. So what it does is it sends like a wave through your body that pretty much calculates everything from your fat, the water, the whole nine. It just calculates everything and then it pieces out here. Okay. And they have several different machines. They have ones that, they get super duper in depth. They talk about what's on the left side of your body. They talk about what's going on the right side of your body. And I don't know if any of you guys recall, I would sometimes, when we were in person, I would measure on one side of your body because naturally one side of your body is going to be smaller than the other. That's everybody. Okay. I didn't make that science up. That's just, it is what it is. But what that does, what this more electron or this more fancy scale or fancy version of what it is that we have right here in our homes, it does break it down to that. And it just goes off of a wave that it sends all the way through your body. And then it's able to spit it out. The same way where it's like, okay, you step on a scale and it gives you your weight. That's why those pads are there, those electronic, not even electronic, but those silver pads are there where you place your feet. Even your foot placement is important. Make sure your feet are right there aligned with the schedule. Don't be like this, web foot out or, bowed out. You want to be right there on top of the feet. Heel at the back and barefoot. Good point. Yes, barefoot. Don't try to do it through your socks. It's not going to give you an accurate measurement. Okay. So that is how it does that. Okay. Just on a layman's term side, that's how it does it. But anyway, going back to that protein side, that number is what I'm looking for all of us this week. I do want, if you have the scale, if you don't have the scale, I'm going to say you need to go to your MyFitnessPal. Your MyFitnessPal, when you turn it sideways and I look at the bottom of it and I'm looking at your protein, I need to see you, at least 75% of the week meeting that protein goal. And again, that is how we now mirror those two. You got the scale that says, hey, Reagan, you're low, you're in the low range. And then I go to MyFitnessPal and I'm like, I haven't reached my protein goal in a while. Well, there's no wonder why the scale is saying that it's low. It needs me to get up there. That's why, my muscle mass is not necessarily retaining or going up, because I'm not getting the amino acids, those building blocks to help keep the muscle mass there. I want my muscle mass. We all want our muscle mass there. Doesn't mean we're going to be walking around like this, but you do want your muscle mass and you do want to burn the body fat. That's across the board. That's what we all want. So, I got some other things going on in the chat. Feel free to drop some stuff in the chat, you guys, just so you don't lose your train of thought. Let's see. And this is the same one on your site. Yes, that scale is the same one on my site. It should be, like I said, about 16 bucks now. You shouldn't be paying any more than $20 for it. Honestly, they have so many scales just like this on the market. You can find a good one for a great price. Okay. But the one that I'm speaking about is on the site. And the last I checked, maybe a week ago, it was for about a good 16 bucks before tax. And fiber. Yes, fiber is another one. Make sure that you're getting down to that fiber. Yes, 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 yes. That is very important. When we look at our carbohydrates, we look at sugars, we look at fiber. You always want that fiber intake to be higher than the sugar intake in referencing your carbs. Okay. That is a tricky one. That's in that sneaky side of things. We're definitely going to dive deeper into fiber probably at a later date, but watch your fiber intake, keeping the peeling on the vegetables and the fruits or whatever helps you get that fiber intake up. For instance, apples, on the skin itself, this is plentiful in fiber. Okay. Same thing with keeping the skin on your vegetables, plentiful in fiber. Get the fiber intake up. That is a carb. Those are the type of carbs you need to be going for. Okay. Can body water mean that your body does retain water, especially if I'm drinking near to a gallon of water a day? I'm sorry. Can body water mean that your body does not retain water? Body does not retain water. Can body water mean that your body does not retain water? I want to make sure I'm understanding your question correctly. Can body water mean that your body does not retain water? You might have to come on and clarify the question. I think I'm having a slow moment. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you remain low.
If you're using the biometric scale and it always says that your water is on the low range, but you're drinking close to a gallon a day, does that just mean maybe your body just doesn't hold water as much?
Are you okay? So if you're consuming, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up because there are a couple of different stages of hydration. You have dehy, hypo, and euhydration. Okay, we all know what dehydration is when your body is not getting the water that it needs. So you're not speaking about a state of dehydration at all. Um, and here we go. The scale would tell you that because I go to body water. Your scale would tell you that if you're, and I'm right where I need to be, I'm in that normal range. Nobody should really be in the high range. Your body will never, and if you do, that means you're in a state of euhydration, means you're overly hydrated. And it is very, very hard to get to that point. So that brings me, I mean, even top athletes of the world don't even really get to that point. So what I'm trying to say, and you can definitely bring me back around if I'm not meeting or if I'm not answering your question. If your body water weight is low, that means even though you're drinking close to you say you're drinking close to a gallon per day, I would go ahead and try to hit that gallon, because what that is letting me know, or what I'm assuming, is that what you're putting in is not matching what's kicking out. There's an imbalance somewhere. So that might be how often you're sweating in your workouts. Think about how often are you sweating? Are you referencing days that you do work out or days that you don't work out? Even whenever you are hitting this gallon, what did your water look like the day before? Are we getting close to that gallon every single day? Maybe we need to go ahead and take it up to that gallon because our body is still striving for more water. Clearly it's not getting enough. And then even sometimes, I would look back at the scale if it's something that's older. I don't know if you have the newer one or the older one or whatever, but if it's something that's relatively old, sometimes these things miscalculate, like they absolutely do. But if you have the newer one and it's telling you that you're in that lower range, I found it to be, pretty accurate. And you just might need to be more consistent with consuming that water, and also go to Gallon Tuesday this week or last week. I think I have hydrating fruits and vegetables as a list. Maybe start going off of that list too, with eating your hydration as well, and also consuming it with your water too, so that there's no way that it's missing out on anything. But definitely work on, most people with water weight, their body water weight are between, even 38 and 39 is kind of low. You always want to be above 40. Like you,
I'm at 39.8.
okay, yes. So
And that was me coming up.
okay, see, yeah, and your body, because you got to think that water, I mean, it hydrates. What you put in literally hydrates you from head to toe, your hair, your brows, your skin. Your skin is the largest organ. You might find that sometimes your hands feel a little bit dry. My feet was dry yesterday, dry. And I was like, what in the world is going on? But, not only, of course, lotion and oil, but I also realized that, dang, okay, I ain't have as much water. Okay, my body got greedy. It said, no, baby, you was doing good. So what's up? Like, you forgot about me. You can even see with your lips, your teeth, you feel it in your mouth, you feel it in your energy. I mean, everything, your organs, all your internal organs thrive off the water and all the hydration that it receives in. So you might want to start eating your hydration. And that's good that you got it up. That's fantastic. That's so good. Because some people struggle with that. But keep on getting it. My low point, I'm gonna tell you, is at 45. I'm at 48.4. And I told you yesterday, my feet was dry. And I was like, what's going on with me? And I noticed a little bit. So was my body still hydrated? Absolutely. But the very first thing that begins to suffer from, the beginning of dehydration is your skin. And that's how my body works. It's different for everybody, but that's how it works for me. Try to get it up and look and see where your low point is if you have this system, and send it to me. Okay. Making sure I don't miss anything. Yep. As soon as I drink water, I'm in the bathroom and it's gone. Is that an issue? Nope. It's not. It's not an issue at all. Great question. Because even when we talk about detoxing, we talk about water, whatever, we automatically assume that, hey, we're not going to, we drink it and then it's gone. And it's like, well, no, it really doesn't work that way. It's waking up that system. You might even notice as soon as you get out of the bed in the morning, you take a sip of water and you drink it, it wakes up your organs. You can even feel the water going down into your body sometimes when you wake up in the morning like that. So the same thing whenever you're drinking the water and then you actually are going to the restroom, your body is just working. It's working how it's supposed to. Now, some people on a more health side, and I don't think you have this issue, but some people, their body cannot hold water. My mother is like this. Her body cannot hold water at all. I don't think that you have that complication. The more that you consume, the more that your body normalizes it, and it actually deposits the water where it needs to go. Because again, every organ in your body, externally and internally, needs the water. Okay. And also, Miss T, look at where your water is right now. Like, look at where you are on the scale in regards to your water intake, and let me know what that says too. Okay. Chandra just dropped some gems in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can get the 10% off discount option. Is that for the scale that's on my site, or is that another scale?
I'm not sure if it's the same one, but it's the same type of scale.
Okay, so yet another example for you. So again, check that one out. Check the one else out on the site. Again, I just had somebody to purchase it and they were like, yes, this is the bombdickety.com. Loved it. Okay, so protein goals, that's another thing for you guys. Meatless options. Y'all know tomorrow is Meatless Monday. You already know. If you're participating in Meatless Monday, be careful with these meat alternatives. I say it every single week. Do not gravitate towards the Beyonds and all of those or whatever, whatnot. There are so many. And I also have a list that's up on the website too, on your calendar, of meatless options to gravitate towards, so that the thing about those Beyonds and those Impossibles and stuff, when you flip over and you look at the ingredient list, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna tell you that. Just flip it over and look at the ingredient list. Some of
I
that
am so
stuff,
happy you said that.
what's going on with it? You have
Because I was just at Walmart and was getting ready to buy the Beyonds and stuff. And something was like, just make the black bean burgers from scratch, Quinn. Like, just make them from scratch. Just get you an 80-cent can of black beans, use a fork and fluff them suckers up, put whatever you want to in them and just go. So I just did that.
perfect.
I was
Perfect.
finna opt for them Beyond burgers, those sus.
No, sir. No, sir. Don't do that. Okay. But when you do, just on these meatless days, watch out. What I am seeing is whenever I'm looking at some of your screenshots and stuff like that and the receipts on Meatless Monday, we're getting through Meatless Monday because you said, hey, Reagan said meatless. So this is meatless, Beyond Meat. Okay. Woo woo, Impossible. Okay. I'm on point. But when you look at it, you turn it over, you look at the ingredient list, it has everything underneath the sun that you don't even know how to pronounce, not checking anybody's reading. However, comma, we don't know what some of that stuff is. If I were you, I honestly would not drift off and dandelion in that territory on a more frequent basis. Whenever I do, because I do dibble and dabble with the Impossible Burger every now and then, the Beyond. I absolutely do. But when I do, I am utilizing them more for, oh, it's fun. I'm having a little cheat moment or what have you, or whatever. When I'm living life on the edge, that's kind of how I treat those options. I treat them the same way I treat some Oreo cookies. I do. And the reason why is because they're just so packed with things that I know I don't know. And the way that the FDA works, people think when stuff is FDA approved, that is the biggest scam. Okay. Do not be fooled by the FDA. They are some scammers. Okay. Sorry if anybody works for the FDA, no shade. But it's scammy. Sometimes they approve things and items if it's less than like 5% of something in it. They don't necessarily have to put it in the ingredients list, or they don't have to count it in the nutrition chart or something like that. Don't hold me to that. But it gets very tricky whenever you're looking at these options and also having to think about the business side of it. They don't have to report everything that's in those packaged items, just so you know. So you might be thinking you getting something, but you really getting something else. Okay. So just be careful. They're usually higher in sodium when you look at those options. Just go to the freezer section and look at some of these meatless options that they have. They're usually higher in sodium. The ingredient list, where it's supposed to be a little burger patty or whatever, the ingredient list has like 20 plus items in it. I always aim 5 or less. 5 or less. Once things get over 5 ingredients in it, then you got to start scratching your brow. Okay. So just be mindful of those meatless options. Do refer to some of those links for more protein options, so that you're not becoming insufficient in your protein. Okay. Because most of us are pulling our protein from our meat options. And I'm saying, hey, meatless Monday. And it might be like, oh, well, you pulled the meat away, then you pulled the meatless options away. What you want me to eat? Well, there's several different things that you can pull from protein to still get protein and still be good to go. Like Quint just said, she made her black bean patty. She got a little black beans. Whoop, 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 chop, chop. Again, Shamika's on here. I know Shamika probably has 1,000,010 ideas that would be really good for making something that is a meatless option and not always having to gravitate towards it. Okay. I got you, Miss T. I just received that message from you. I already broke down meatless options, sodium. Same thing about sodium. Watch out for those packaged items this week. I know Saturdays are our low sodium Saturdays, but really be careful, you guys. Really watch out for those packaged items. I want everyone to begin to get into the habit of knowing exactly what you're putting into your body. If something, even if it's you're getting rice, jasmine rice, and you're making a little rice with your stuff, turn that package over and look at the back of it. Begin to do that. Go ahead and look in your cupboards right now or sometime today, between today and tomorrow, and just say, well, what is in this roll up spinach, whatever I got going on in here? What is it? You know, what's in it? Start becoming more aware of what you're putting in your body. It's the only thing that I ask, okay? I'm gonna open up the floor with questions because I have been running my big mouth. Anybody have any questions about anything? Okay, let me see. All right. Shamika, did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna say yesterday was like the biggest struggle I have had trying to find something under 100. Like I called Chandra and was like, girl, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, literally everything I picked up, and I read labels. That was the crazy part. Like I read labels. I don't buy anything unless I read the back of the label. But I guess I can honestly say even though I would look at the sodium, I wasn't looking like 100 milligrams. So that part I was just like, yeah, I can't make a protein pancake. I can't have this protein shake because everything was over 100 milligrams just about. So I was like, is 100 like, I mean, do you really need to be at 100?
Yes, it really is, but that's the thing. Like when you were looking on it, it was like most of the stuff was packaged, right?
I mean, even the stuff that okay, like for instance, your protein shake. So I was like, okay, I need a meal replacement. I'll use a protein shake. And I went to go have it, but I was like, okay, I think it was 240 or something if I did the full scoops as recommended. So I was like, okay, well, I can't really have that. Or should I have looked at it differently and said, okay, well, I know that this is okay.
Differently. I'm gonna say that when you have these packaged items, again, I told you guys yesterday, remain if it has over 100 milligrams of sodium in it, that full serving size is not gonna be what you need to gravitate towards on low sodium Saturday.
Okay, so just don't do the full serving.
Yeah, so because you brought a protein shake, and I was gonna tell you what I do for mine.
Okay.
You do even though the sodium is a lot lower, by the time you add in all of your other ingredients that
Mhm.
have sodium in it, you're going to be well over what you absolutely need. Sometimes we in 3, 4, 5, 600 milligrams of sodium from a shake.
Mhm.
That's not helping us at all. So what I do on those days, I remove the junk. I use my alkaline water. It's actually the same thing I do for Thursdays. I do this on Saturdays. Like if I needed a shake or something, I'll use my alkaline water. I'll use half the serving size of everything else that I put in, or a fourth of the serving size that I normally put in. Because I abuse my shakes. I'm honest. I will abuse my shake. I'm like, oh, let me do a scoop of this. Let me double for that. And by the time I look at my shake, it's like, did I help myself or did I hurt myself? It's 600 milligrams of sodium. That's ridiculous. Why am I putting it into my body? No. So what I would do if I were you is it's good that you already read the labels. That's perfect. That's half of the battle sometimes. But now if you know that the full serving size, let's just use some chocolate chips. I'm gonna just say chocolate chips. You use chocolate chips and the serving size is 16 pieces, right? And the milligrams of sodium in those 16 pieces, because it's only talking about one serving size for that big bag. It's talking about 16 pieces on those nutrition facts. Okay, that's the gotcha. The sodium comes out to be 300 milligrams of sodium for 16 pieces of chocolate chip. Now, what that lets me know, I probably need to say, okay, instead of having the 16 pieces, if I do 8, I know I'm gonna be at 150 milligrams. I can get by with 150 milligrams over 300 any day because I know I'm gonna be adding some other stuff to it. Or just being more cognizant of that in that regard, you'll be cutting back on your sodium more and more and more. And that's the whole point. That is the whole point. So just watch your recipes, especially if you're using packaged items. Look at the back of it, really try to stick with the serving size. If the serving size is still greater than what it needs to be, that lets you know you probably need to start scaling back how much you do, how much you use. Same thing when you're doing a teaspoon of this or a tablespoon of that. If it's accounting for a tablespoon of it, then you might need to either find an alternative Or you might say, okay, let me just scale it back. Do I really need this? Okay, I kind of like it. Okay, for psychological reasons, let me do a teaspoon this time instead of a tablespoon. Okay, and kind of wean yourself off the consistency of eating these things that are higher in sodium. That's really all Low Sodium Saturday is about. Did I answer your question? I hope I did. Okay, perfect. Someone says, same here. It's a struggle. Why is it so hard to change your mindset? Let me see. Why is it so hard to change your mindset when you're changing your diet? Because what have you been doing for however long you've been on this earth? You've been doing it for a long time. A lot of the things that are instilled within us came from our parents. And even, they didn't know, they weren't thinking about, your health is your wealth or whatever. And I'm not saying everybody's parents like this. I'm gonna speak for myself. I grew up in a household where we ate, we had honey buns and cookies after school. My parents really didn't do fast food. They weren't with the fast food kick because they were more on the cheap 99 side. We're not going out to eat all this good food we got in the refrigerator. We not eating out. That's how Roma St. Peter was. That's my parents. From the country. So we go down to Tar Heel, North Carolina, and you got hog mog swimming in every side dish ever. Okay. You got, every time we get together, it's 10 plus items on the menu. That's how we ate. Bread is on the menu. You eat, you have your 3 meals for the day, and you go outside and play, and then whoop, whoop, that's it. Whatever mama cook is what you eat. That's it. That's just the way that we were raised. It won't no calorie counting, watch out for sodium. And then when these things began to hit the market for parents like mine, of course they're going to gravitate towards these easy things. I mean, easier things like steakums. I don't know if y'all remember those or if they still make them, but my mom would buy them steakums. Do y'all know them things had like maybe 2,000 milligrams of sodium in it? Like, it's just ridiculous. Your noodles and stuff, like a little quick package. So when you get home from school, you can make your little food and you can move on, do your homework and then or whatever. That was just it. Wasn't nobody thinking about health as well. And now, a lot of people in our age group, they're now suffering from those habits. So when you think about a mindset, it becomes very hard because it's like you think about it, well, it ain't never hurt me whenever I was a kid. No, it didn't because you were a kid. Like now as a grown woman, it's different. It's definitely different in the way that they're pumping hormones, the way that they're pumping all sorts of other ingredients in stuff to mimic taste. It makes it harder for us to wean off of. The example that I love to use about this is kind of like, I'm gonna say carbohydrates, sugars, really sugars more than anything else. It's kind of equivalent to crack. I mean, in regards to just like the way your body receives it, the way your brain receives it is like, okay, I have it, I need it, let me get some more. Okay, let me get more of it because I'm not full yet. And it doesn't process in your brain the way that it processes in your body. It's just an imbalance there. And it makes it addicting to eat this way. And that's a lot of us are really battling the psychological side of it and not necessarily the physical side of it. We can't seem to marry those two. And that's where the issues lie. So it's a lot of it is habit to answer your question. The struggle, it's a lot of it is, your upbringing, the way that you feel that your body should work versus the way that it actually does. Like I said, upbringing and your habits that you've kind of like as an adult, you've come to like learn on your own. These are your own personal habits. And then all of a sudden here I come around the corner like, not, you got to change all that. You like, well, excuse my French, who the hell is she? Why I got to change? Wait, why I got to change all this? Like, why, why? That's just the way that it is. So you have to also scale your goals for yourself and take it one step at a time. Notice I haven't told you guys to go on. I'm not telling you go on keto. I'm not telling you to do, everybody go vegetarian, everybody go vegan. What I want you to do is find where you're not doing or not performing the best. And that is where we will start. So don't think about it as, oh my God, it's so hard to change your mindset. Try to think about changing your habits first, and the mindset part will come. I promise you, it will definitely come, especially as you begin or continue to educate yourself week after week and learning your body. your mindset will change, but it is challenging because it is a process. That's the ugly truth. That's the $1 million question. I struggle with that as well. We all do. Same here. It is such a struggle, but ladies, you know, you're here, you're doing it. Just take a step at a time. Do not overwhelm yourself with trying to do this. It'll make you rebellious and make you just say the heck with everything that we've been talking about on Sundays, and you'll just start doing your own thing. You'll be like, bump it, I don't care. And a lot of us have gotten to that point before, whether in the past or we might be there right now. But I am here to reassure you to not put that pressure on yourself. Only focus on one thing. That's why we're setting goals every single week. Just tackle one goal at a time. That's all I want you to do. Try all veggies again, even things that you thought you hated. I have found that my taste buds have changed. Cook them as you would any other food. That is a great idea in regards to changing your mindset. Take the foods that you like. I love alternative dishes. When I was transitioning from eating dairy consistently to like not eating it at all, it was a challenge, but it took some, let me get creative. Let me step outside of the box. Sure, I want a milkshake and because I'm a sweets girl. Yes, I want a double fudge brownie milkshake with extra whipped cream and extra chocolate chips. And that's my thing. Everything I listed usually has milk in it, right? That right there for me was like, okay, I got to start there. How am I going to get around this? Because I love this, but I also knew that it wasn't yielding the results that I wanted. So I had to have that conversation with myself. Do you want this or do you want that? Choice is yours. Choice is yours. But I had to break up. It was a bad relationship. I had to break up. I knew it wasn't good for me. I had to break up with it. So it's a process. So the total for Saturday is only 100. No. The total for Saturday is not only 100 milligrams of sodium. Again, the total for Saturday is not 100 milligrams of sodium. That is what per the item that you're putting in. Anytime the question was, how many milligrams of sodium should we be aiming for whenever we're adding these ingredients, the way that I understood it. If you're adding an ingredient, it should not have anything more than 100 milligrams of sodium in it. Because again, by the time you start adding in everything else, you be at what? Dang near close to 1,000 milligrams of sodium in one meal. That's too high. So you always want to make sure that you're aiming to be below the 100 milligrams of sodium for the ingredient. Okay. Again, not for the day, for the ingredient. Okay. You can still eat your soul food, but healthier and smarter. That can be a fun challenge. Yes, when you're doing your soul food and stuff like that, start using veggie broth and stuff like that to instead of the stocks, the chicken stocks, the beef stocks, and the broths and stuff like that. Usually with veggie, you're cutting out a lot of sodium too. That's something that I try to do. And Shamika also put, don't overcook your vegetables. I'm glad you put that. Y'all, sometimes y'all sending me these greens and stuff, especially on Thursdays, and them things look like they have been wilted. Don't cook all your nutrients out, y'all. Don't cook your nutrients out your food, okay? And if you have questions about that, I know Shamika has a lot of great ideas. Or I can even give you the educational side of it. But if you're looking for more creativity, definitely get with Shamika. Again, any more questions? Because I think I hit all of my points and I've definitely held you guys long enough. I'm so sorry. Yittity. Okay, well, I am available if anybody needs anything. And I'm glad that you all were able to hop on today. Great job. That mindset is tough. Goodness, that mindset is tough, but you can definitely do it. Okay. It's a transition. Okay. And we're talking about a lifestyle change. It's going to take a lifetime of work. So slow pacing. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Okay. If you have any questions, call me. Bye, y'all. Hey, what's up, y'all? Tell Mikey I seen him, Randy. Hey.
Thank you, Reagan.
Yes, Mikey.
still changing my life. I just can't afford you right now.
Making
Oh my God. Come on.